Junkies coming to you live from downtown D.C. We're in the Monumental Sports Network studios. Happy to be joined by Will Dawkins, Washington Wizards general manager. This will be a less awkward exchange than the last time I saw you when I was in the box in the suite at a Wizards game. I did a quick hello, and then I scurried off and hid in the bathroom for a little bit. Everybody else was talking to you forever, and then I didn't re-engage with you. Good to see you again. I'm not going to make it weird this time.
Can we get these handshakes?
Yeah,
there you
good
go.
to see it. Yes.
Were you intimidated by his greatness? Or
No. He does exude greatness, but I wasn't intimidated by it. I just wanted to get a quick hello and then let everybody else talk.
I think everybody was
shop,
eating. We were
people
kind
to
of just
talk to.
eting, having a good time,
Yeah.
and I just popped in on you guys.
Yeah, but it's
The
all
truth
good.
is,
Surprise.
Cakes doesn't like people. He has a reputation as being nice, but he doesn't like people.
Yeah, I mean,
he said before when he used to park
That's
in the same
overblown.
place. No, we used to park in a parking lot that if he saw somebody on the sidewalk near us, he would cross the street to
This may have
avoid
happened.
small talk.
That's some social
What
anxiety.
was the aversion? That makes
Social
sense.
anxiety.
That makes
That's
sense.
all. That's all it is.
I couldn't tell. You've always been good to me.
Thank
so I
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
that.
So, he loves to talk when he's got the microphone in
Yeah.
front. Anybody else he
It's
likes to
about
talk
the
to.
He
only
gets
time.
paid to talk.
Yeah,
gets paid.
exactly.
When he gets paid,
I'm
he loves to talk.
volunteering to talk. There we go.
All right,
What does a general manager do on a day like today? Like for regular fans, we have no idea. Like, what are you doing today?
Yeah, so September, we're about 2 weeks away from training camp. We have a lot of our guys in town, which is great. They're volunteering on their own, coming in. So you get to watch a little bit of that. Fortunately, it's HBCU week that we're putting on for Monumental, so I get to go to Howard and speak to them and
Nice.
join a panel there. And then we're trying to finish up hiring some staffing. We have some family services people coming into town that we're interviewing. So a lot of stuff on the day-to-day, trying to make sure we're ready to go once training camp starts.
How often or how long are the guys working out before? Because camp starts October 1, so you got a couple more weeks.
Yep.
How long do they work out now?
So obviously the summertime, they kind of control their own agenda and kind of what they do. We've been really fortunate. Half the team's been here since August.
Right.
And after Labor Day, we've had 95% of the guys in here. So they come in, do their own thing. If they want to play pickup on some days, they play. They organize it. But they're on the court 45 minutes to an hour just working on their individual game
Right.
and also getting in the
Drills
weight room.
and stuff,
So,
yeah.
You don't want to burn out too early, but
Right.
they want to be in town and get used to the gym, and the camaraderie piece is more important than anything.
If Cakes was a GM, he wouldn't let them do other activities. He's always talked about
What
this.
type of
I
activity?
mean, I think
he
Will
doesn't like
Dawkins
guys-
he's going to be Team Cakes here.
jet skiing and
Jet
all
skiing.
that? Yeah,
How about
no.
downhill skiing?
Absolutely.
You want Alex Sarr on skis going down?
17 years from now,
Killington,
when his career's
Vermont?
over.
I
I don't
don't
know if
think
Sarr
so.
could do that.
How about
Believe it-
surfing? You
Believe
want
it or
them
not,
up?
a lot of that stuff's in their contract.
Thank
Oh,
you.
really?
Yes,
Oh,
thank
is it?
you.
There's a lot of
You know what?
exclusions on that type
Will,
of stuff.
come on. We're smart. Come on.
For sure.
This guy.
You got to protect them.
Yeah.
Protect them
but
from
you know what it
themselves.
is? In other sports, he doesn't like guys even playing pickup basketball.
Football
like a
guys?
football player.
Yeah,
Right. Because you
I
can
understand.
you can snap your ankle like
I
that
understand.
playing pickup hoops.
But those football athletes are different.
They're amazing.
They're built different.
Yeah.
And their off seasons are so long. They got to fill it with something.
That's true.
So, how excited can I be? I just temper my expectations.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like rebuild. I kind of like going to the playoffs. But everyone
I do
said
too.
everyone said, "Oh, we got to rebuild." All right, so we're gonna rebuild.
Yep.
What can we? I think your draft, by the way, was fantastic.
I appreciate you
I had
saying
no
that.
idea, but then I watched the summer. I was like, "Whoa, this Bub kid."
You love
is
Bob Carrington.
Dude, he's the real
Dude, he
deal.
looks
He's
legit.
tough.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and then the George guy is like, oh,
Keyshawn.
he
Keyshawn's
can
gonna be
play.
good.
Sarr
Like,
did
he-
miss a lot of shots. To
He
be
had a couple-
honest.
But
He missed a lot
he's
of
the
shots.
guy.
Talk about that too.
But he's the guy that you're least worried about. It's like the
Correct.
bottom of the
Correct.
draft. I was like,
Yes.
whoa,
Yeah.
that was a really good draft.
I appreciate
and,
that.
You know, they haven't done anything yet in the real games, but
Yeah.
that was my blink.
I appreciate that.
So, but what can we expect? Because I'm ready to go win 50.
Yeah.
But what's
gonna
realistic?
take a while. It's
All
gonna
right.
take a while.
What's realistic? Set the expectations.
I think first, thank you for saying that. What we wanted to do this summer was make a lot of cultural deposits into the organization, and I think we did that starting with the hiring of Brian Keefe and him meticulously taking time and building his staff. Once you learn those guys, all those guys have been lead player development guys at other places, and now they're kind of assistant coaching. So we're building a culture of development, and with that, last year was year one of the rebuild. As you know, you got to pull it down, build the foundational habits, and then build it back up. And I think we're still in the foundational building part.
so what's that mean? We're gonna
Did
get
your
like,
guys hit their 3 goals? I remember you said before the season last year that you gave each player 3 individual goals. How
Yeah.
did they fare on those?
I would
and I'm
say,
sure they changed throughout the season.
So some of the guys hit it midway through the season. You have to evolve the goal. Sometimes we set it too high and we got to pull it back a little bit. So that's the part of measuring quarterly.
what about the defensive goals? They were hitting
No,
those-
as a team, we didn't hit many of those.
Yeah,
So that's what I was going to say. Like individually, a lot of them checked the boxes. but our team goals we didn't, and that's what we spent a lot of the summer on, just being a little bit more competitive, defensive rebounding, things like that.
So let's go through some of the players. EB was highlighting them kind of in general, but
Okay.
you draft Alex Sarr, number 2. We got to see him in the summer league, and I was joking. He missed a lot of shots. The one thing I will say is he gets to his spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looks comfortable getting to his
And
spots.
the stroke
you
looks
just hope-
fine. It'll be fine.
He's 7'1". He's a defensive player first. I think we
Right.
saw that. Would he like to have some of those games back in Summer League? Yeah. It was 5 months since he played 5-on-5 last in February, so we're not going to be too wrapped up into 4 games in Summer League, especially when you saw and you actually break down the tape, the good things he did, how he got to his spots, how he moved the ball.
I thought they were
found
good
people.
looks.
Yeah.
We're not too worried about that. The offense is going to come. I'm excited for what he's going to be 3-4 years
Right.
down the line. We're not too worried about those 3-4
Even though
games
he's
in
only
Summer League.
19, he's been playing professional ball since like 15 or
Yeah.
earlier. Like
I thought
you
he
probably
was
didn't have
left
to
home at
worry about him
14.
being a pro. Like he's been doing it already.
The professional habits that he has,
Yeah.
we're going to improve upon those. But someone that wants to take the chance to leave home at 14, play in Spain, then try something different in America, playing for OTE, then go all the way to Australia, he's got a lot of different experiences and a lot of confidence that
What are
you'll
the
see him
professional
fight through.
habits that you're talking about?
He just knows how to prepare for his body.
Okay.
He knows what goes into winning. Like, he's a vocal defensive player. It's hard to see 18, 19-year-olds talking and
How
having
much
an
are you
impact
into the
on
guy's
that.
nutrition? Like, we always hear these stories about some of these guys who have just terrible diets, right? And at 19, 20, you can get away with
Wasn't
it.
it years ago when Embiid, like people
Oh,
went in and saw
Embiid.
his refrigerator, they're like, oh, you're eating just garbage.
Yeah.
Then they bought him all the fresh vegetables,
You'll
loaded
see
up his
people's
fridge,
bodies
and then
change
2
once they
weeks
learn.
later, everything was rotten. He hadn't eaten any of it.
True story. I had 2 Twinkies this morning.
Very good.
And a breakfast burrito.
Bodies in the temple.
I'm not kidding. I had 2 Twinkies.
But you don't have to go out there and play like they do. every
I'm
day.
good.
No.
I'm good.
Sue Sanders does a really good job. She's our team nutritionist of teaching them what's right from day one. Obviously, you take their blood testing and make sure they're getting the right things that they need. But these guys are pros. They come in, they're getting meals delivered to their houses and prepared so that their body's ready to go. It's when we first came into the league 16, 17 years ago, we were happy to get like Chipotle and McDonald's.
Right.
And now these guys are eating 3 times a day, professional chefs.
How
It's
good
pretty
can
impressive.
How good can Sarr be this year in your eyes?
I wouldn't put limitations on him, to be honest with you. I think he's someone that by the end of the season, you'll be like, okay, that was different.
Really?
He'll have his moments throughout the beginning of the year, both negative and positive, but the stuff he can do on the floor long term, I think you guys are going to be pretty excited with.
What about
Yeah.
Bilal? Bilal is my guy.
Yeah.
You may have discovered him a little bit before me, but he's my guy.
It was right
Now,
around that same time.
There are 2 schools of thought here. There's one person sitting at this table who just wants Bilal to be like a 20-point scorer already. Wants him to be instant impact. There's another person, a more rational person, that knows that it's going to take some time to develop him. That it's going to take some more experience, more time in the NBA game. What do you think of year 1? What should people expect in year 2 and beyond?
Productive year 1. When he was coming in, the year before, he wasn't even playing in Pro A in France at the beginning of the season. He was playing in the 2nd division, and then by the end was playing starter minutes in the playoffs. And it was the same for us. We didn't know what we were to expect last year. By the end of the season, he was starting and getting more minutes. If he didn't have that wrist injury, I think those last 16 games would have been huge for him in terms of just making plays, seeing a little bit more on the offensive end. But he's had a great summer. Physically, when you guys see him, he's filled out. But the experience he had playing for France, winning a silver medal, going over there and really competing,
That's very
getting
cool,
those
though.
opportunities.
Watching
like,
France.
no, he played in
He
that
didn't
final.
play that
Thank you.
much.
He played in that final. I went over there.
final.
I went over there and saw him play in some of those games and not play. But when they had to play against the NBA and the USA team, they put him out there and he defended. He was playing deep into the 4th quarter. So that experience, and then when you see his face come
Cakes
back,
put
with
me
his-
on
I mean,
blast.
it's important.
It's just that my theory,
Okay.
is that the rookies that become stars in the league, and he can be a good quality player,
Yeah.
that they generally will have more offensive flashes early on, and we didn't see much of that. Maybe
Yeah.
one game where he got to like 20 points. So I don't know what type of offensive player he'll be down the road.
Yeah, I think he's still figuring that out too. He's young. He's 19. But the progress for him, we knew he was going to be a defensive player first. But you'll see him with the ball a little bit more, getting downhill. And physically, once his shoulders grow into and that contact, I think he'll be able to kind of add more to the scoreboard too.
So we can't bank on wins. This is what am I looking at? So am I trying to say how many guys do we have that are going to be a part
that
of
are
this in
gonna stay.
3 years? Like what are the metrics that fans can be looking for?
Yeah, I think the measurables are a lot of individual right now in terms of team metrics, things we're looking for, just being more competitive, being in more games, having a joy of camaraderie. We're trying to establish a style of play that will last not just right now, but kind of where we want to go. So hopefully we try new things, try to be innovative, and come up with new ideas that we can use moving forward. But we still got a lot of time to continue to add to the team, and we'll add through the draft and free agency and trade moving forward. Try to be opportunistic.
It's all about a plan.
A plan.
Process.
It's a process. It's a plan.
You gotta let it play out.
Now, look, 3 out of the 4 pro teams are going through that plan here.
That is true. It's a good point.
So we're kind of getting used to it.
Well, Will, thanks for the time, man. We know you're busy.
You guys are
October
awesome.
1, camp starts, and then the season starts shortly thereafter. And I'm sure we'll talk to you throughout the
Are
season.
you guys going to come back to training camp?
Would love to.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Love to do it.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to come sit on the wood. So I need to talk to Will. I just need to go to a game and be on the wood.
Yeah.
Well, talk to JV.
You need that
That way.
experience.
JVS.
You
Yeah.
started with Zach in the morning. That's who you should have started
Right.
with. Zach was
Oh,
first.
yeah.
You missed your
Good point.
Go to the
opportunity
head
on
of the
that.
snake,
Good
right?
Go right to the top.
That's
Good
the way
point.
it works. All right, we got to get out of here. We are done for the day. Thanks again to Monumental Sports Network for having us out in their lavish new digs.